Hi, I'm Brian with Bisdorf Palmer Private Wealth Advisors, and I'm here to help you make sense of this strange, rapidly inflating economy. Or is it? Now, in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to explain what you can do about it and how you can protect your investments. It's been a long time since investors have had to worry about inflation at all. Now it's making headlines because prices are rising faster than expected. Now, before you start to worry about how inflation might affect your investments, let's take a closer look at the facts behind the headlines. So first, what exactly is inflation? Let me give you a quick reminder. While it may sound like cause for panic, inflation simply refers to the gradual rise in prices over time, meaning the dollars you have today won't stretch as far tomorrow or when you go to retire. Now, this often happens because when there's more demand than supply, prices will go up. And when an external event like a natural disaster or a pandemic makes it hard for companies to produce enough to keep up with demand, then they can raise their prices, resulting in inflation. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Stable, predictable inflation is actually considered a good sign for a growing economy. So second, why is inflation happening? Why is it rising right now? Now, inflation is rising because prices are increasing faster than usual. But it's useful to know that most measures of inflation compare what's happening now with what was happening a year ago. And at this time last year, the US economy was shut down, the world's economy was shut down because of COVID-19.
COVID-19!
So be aware that the economic impact of the pandemic is going to distort any year-over-year comparison for quite some time. Now, thirdly, and most importantly, what should you do about it? Well, that all depends on how long it sticks around. Many economists are expecting inflation to decrease in the short term, but not to affect the economy as much as it has in the past. Now, the Federal Reserve is keeping a close eye on the situation, and if it looks like inflation isn't going to settle down later this year, they may take action to keep it in check. Now, either way, the important thing is to avoid making any major knee-jerk reactions. If you make big moves or big adjustments in your portfolio now to hedge against inflation, you could lose big if the inflation turns out to be temporary. Now, if inflation is going to stick around for a while, it may be appropriate to make some prudent adjustments, like considering higher future inflation estimates in your long-term income planning or adjusting some of your investments. But this all depends on individual factors, like what's in your portfolio, what do you currently own, when are you planning to retire, when do you want to start taking income. This is definitely not a one-size-fits-all scenario, and this is where it helps to get personalized advice from a financial professional. Now, I'm keeping a close eye on what's happening with the economy, and together we can create a plan that makes sense for your needs. Now, if you have any questions about what I've discussed with you, or you'd like to speak personally about what's going on, please use the form below to send me a message and I'll respond personally.